A flight to Florida and a deadly motive. This is what we're going to talk about tonight. Let's go. Yeah. Oh man, it's been a while, hasn't it been? Welcome back, guys, to the Heck Show. Been a minute since I did this, but since we doing things different as far as changing the narrative and the direction and the message and who needs the fixing, we're here with the Heck is Going On show, where we talk about hood politics and all the other good stuff. So welcome again to The Heck is Going On. I am your host, the Honorable Jones, the Truthbreaker. And tonight we're diving deep into a story. Well, a story that left us speechless, especially for me. And with that being said, let's dive in. The most unthinkable act. Yeah. A woman flew from New York to Florida, not for a job, not for a family, not for a vacation, but to allegedly, and we don't want to say allegedly anymore, who took a trip to Florida to commit a heinous crime that has us all asking, what the heck is going on in this world? Okay? We're talking about a premeditated violence, a calculated act of jealousy, rage. I don't even want to know if that's the right words to say. This individual allegedly targeted the new girlfriend of her ex. Yeah. From New York to Florida. She went out there to target her ex. And allegedly, that's what you got to say now on these social media platforms, right? Allegedly, she fatally shot her. Let that sink in. 5 seconds, right? She allegedly shot her. I said shock her, you hear me? She allegedly shot her. From what the article said, she went out there, she put a disguise on, hid herself, and when the girl came out, she did what she had to do. Or should I say she did what she wanted to do. Now, this female was now sentenced today. This is why I wanted to talk about it. She was sentenced to life in jail. And according to the reports, she got into a verbal dispute with this girl. The girl got tired of talking to her and blocked her off social media. So because she was blocked, she took that and felt highly disrespected. So she took it upon herself to fly out to Florida to unalive her. To think, and after she did that, she really thought she was going to get away. But she didn't. Now, she was hit with so many charges, crossing state lines, premeditated, the whole shebang. And the results of that is her receiving life in jail. Now, the reason why I had to talk about this, of course, is one of the, what the heck is wrong with you? But it's also time for us to really start investing our time into positive energy. Now, this lady right here is 31 years old. I forgot her name. I'm already upset that I started this late, but the lady's 31 years old, still young, threw her whole life away. But for a 31-year-old to have such anger that she would travel state lines to unalive somebody just lets you know that the frequency that we're being absorbed around is toxic, it's lethal, it's fatal. The energy that we're displaying now towards each other is at an all-time high when it comes to the negativity. And for a sister to literally book a plane ticket to fly all the way to the other side of town just so she can do harm to a woman because this woman supposedly took her ex away. Now, I say this to every female. When a man walks away from a woman that he was with or he loved, 9 out of 10 times is because the woman is not doing what the woman is supposed to do. I seen a sister post something up, and it said that a lot of situations that's going on is a lot of situations that is occurs from women not doing their job as a woman. And what I mean by that is today's woman is so self-centered and more focused on me, right? Sometimes they forget that they also supposed to put their focus on their king. And with today's society and how society is now, society promotes the total opposite. Society tells, woman, I'm the prize, and the man got to do this, and the man got to do that. And to be honest, that is the biggest bullshit I have ever heard in my life, because when you see the mass majority of society, the woman, it's always the man that takes the woman that has nothing, that probably was brought up into nothing, didn't come to family fortunes. It's always the man. It's usually the man that picks the woman up and put her in another bracket. And when I say bracket, I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about mentally. I'm talking about physically. I'm talking about spiritually, sexually, right? And when that woman gets put into the different brackets, sometimes it's hard for that woman to function when that bracket is no longer there. When they get removed off that pedestal, they do not know how to react. True word. My phone just went off. And because of that, they do what they do. But in reality, women could never be the prize, because mass majority of women in today's society, today's demographics, come to relationships with nothing. And when I mean nothing is, a woman will come with something, but it will be just enough for her to sustain herself. It's never her to sustain everybody else, right? Unless she's put in that predicament, she would do that. But we're speaking for the average. The average woman does not, carry enough for everybody. It's just enough for her. You get what I'm saying? And the man always, when a man seeks a lady, sometimes a man that has the confidence to seek a lady is already financially, physically, mentally, emotionally set, right? And I'm not talking about today's widows, that looks for, the bum nigga that look for the bum witch. You know what I'm saying? No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about, a man that meets a woman that's, that has her own working, etc., runs into a man that does the same thing. It's always a difference, because subconsciously a woman is supposed to groom herself in preparation for that king to arrive. But a lot of times, the reason why relationships don't sustain and last is because of the difference, the arguing, the fighting, the being at odds, that trying to prove a point, carry on children behavior. It's a lot of things, and a lot of these things come from trauma. And yes, relationships do cause trauma. Okay, you can be in a relationship and be traumatized because of that, and you become a different person, right? But in the overall aspect of it, the overall aspect, you understand, the reactions and how things is being handled falls in line with some level of trauma, right? And these traumas, these triggers, if you want to call it that, are the reason for broken households, broken relationships, where a man, and I can't speak for every man, but for somebody feel like myself, a man that's in my standards is as simple as can be. You know what I'm saying? Food cooked, house clean, nothing in between. And and allow, of course, allow me to get in between, of course, right? So those are the three things that a real individual as myself will desire. Where today's society, they want their woman to be working, to do everything I just mentioned and still work while they sit back and collect whatever they're collecting. Sometimes these niggas is collecting allowances from that very woman that they're putting all that responsibility on. And that causes friction. Okay? Now, I'm never gonna be the one to act like money is is what sustain a family, because it doesn't. Money only controls the family. Why I say that? Because money was created by man and not God, right? God and the ancestors and the creators bring a woman to you, right? The ancestors will put a woman in your lap, in your presence, and say, this is yours, right? Your job and her job is to sustain what the ancestors put together. But when you are dealing with a society like America, and material is what defines who you are, right? When that becomes the front and center, when that becomes the priority, and your love and everything else become a minority, it becomes an afterthought. And if it doesn't go in line with that, you feel me? Relationships is just gonna be a dub. Similar to what you see here. I know why Shorty went out there. Shorty went out there because she's emotionally distressed. She feels some type of way. The nigga left her for somebody else. He probably, not only did he leave, but he left the state. So now she can't even get next to him, right? And that right there will mess with somebody's psyche. But to avoid the psychiness being, but to avoid the psyche being tampered and handled and triggered, she had to. And I don't want to say you, because it's not like I'm talking to somebody in person, but she had to handle that accordingly by doing the necessary things as a woman. Like I say all the time, man, one of the main issues that's going on in the black and brown community is the fact that we have not merged the gap between the man and the woman. We're at odds over everything. You're every platform, every channel, no matter where you look, no matter where you move, that energy of division between the man and the woman is in full effect. I just did a podcast, and I'm still editing it, talking about the greatest thing a black woman could ever wear is confidence. And when I mean by confidence, confidence in her own skin, confidence in who she is, confidence into what the creators and the ancestors made of her, because she is the continuation of her ancestors. Right? And when that becomes a priority, when you put that in the forefront, like, nah, my confidence and this is who I am, things is going to be different. right? But we're living in a society where women are not being fed that. Women are being told something different. Women is being, led astray. Women is being, misguided. They're following and looking up to these celebrities who are sellouts. I don't know how long to stress this. The male rappers too, the male guys too. You're giving yourself up. You're giving your energy and your thought process to the sellouts. You have to remember that you are in prison and that we are slaves, okay? And the sellouts and the celebrities, right? These are the people that made it inside the room, or should I say inside the homes of the coonies. You understand? And their behavior lets you know that, right? It's like, aha, look at me. I got the jewelry on. I got the cars. I got the girls. That's what the indoor slave would do. While the outdoor slaves is working hard, grinding, trying to keep the roof over their head, trying to stay above water. That's the same mentality. It's the Willie Lynch. But we're not, the hardworking people are not raising their children to be hard and focus on what matters, which is freedom. Today's mothers and fathers are teaching their children to mimic that and inspire to be that. So children grow up trying to make it inside the house when the inside the house is haunted. You got to go through doors and see scary things in order for you to be supposedly happy. But you can look at these dudes. These dudes has everything and not happy. You understand what I'm saying? So when we as individuals start to understand that and realize, like, hold on, wait, nah, this ain't home. Why am I chasing to be with the Joneses? These dudes are sellouts. If you look at the life that they live, they're not living healthy, prosperous, prophetic lifestyles. These niggas is living the propaganda. They're living the life that these people told them to live. Like, all right, you see, we gave you all this money. We let you in the house. Make sure you talk about this. Make sure you dress like that. Make sure you smoke this. Make sure you slap that. The true word. These people are being programmed and controlled. And the minute that they say, nah, I'm not doing that, they're gonna do to them what they did to DMX and all the other, celebrities that went from top of the line to fall to rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? But this is just how the game go. But for us, we have to realize where we at, and the focus got to be literally on bridging the gap between the man and the woman, because the man and the woman, guys, is the number one thing in order for us to have any level of supposed reparations, liberation, salvation, determination, separation, you know what I'm saying? Appreciation. All of these things come from the man and the woman being as one. And it's very important that we remember that. And we got to stop allowing these people to feed our minds, because if you allow them to feed your minds, you're going to do foolish things like take a trip to Florida to unalive a female because of whatever reason, the reason is she got blocked on social media and she felt very disrespected. I'm like, yo. But that just goes to show the type of energy that we around. Our frequency is off. Our connection to the universe is off. And it's showing. It's showing every generation it gets worse and worse. Every generation. And all of that is intentional. I tell you guys this, these things are intentional. They gave you Jesus for a reason. They gave you the Quran for a reason. They gave you these things for a reason, because it will remove you from your natural position. They will remove you from your natural state. This is why you guys are getting sick. This is why black people lead the category in all sicknesses and diseases, because we're not in line with the universe. We're not eating accordingly. We're not drinking accordingly. We're not being righteous accordingly. accordingly. We're not listening to positive sounds and frequencies. I know people early in the AM, even the things that we say as good morning, these are not our frequencies. What are you mourning about? The ancestors woke you up and you saying, oh, good, I should be mourning. That's what you're saying. No, you're supposed to be awoken, be happy that you awoken, thank the ancestors, thank the creators, thank yourself. You understand? Because of course you the one that's putting the food in, you the one that's drinking the water, you the one that's doing the self-care. So you give yourself a pat on the back and you proceed. But when you living in a society that's teaching the total opposite, I mean, come on, what you think is going to happen? And again, we have to start realizing that everything that these people have given us has failed us, bro. It failed us. There's nothing more, nothing less you can say other than, damn, these niggas really, really failed us. This blueprint, this book, this philosophy that they telling me to follow, I followed it. We followed it for hundreds of years. What do you got to show for it? A few college degrees, a few cars that you driven, a few homes, right? Bragging about the money that has no value. I mean, come on, it really has no value. The dollar is just a note, a IOU. That's just what it is. It has no value. But they gotta bring the sellouts to sell that to you. Let me show you how you know it has no value. Look at P. Diddy. Look at R. Kelly. Look at all these celebrities that's worth millions of dollars. And the millions of dollars could not protect them from the system, because the system is the one that controls this millions of dollars. And when you seek that and you desire that and you make that your everything, you become a control opposition, bro. As I get older and I get wiser, I said, oh, okay. So financially, they have me under their control. Physically, I'm under their control, right? It's only so far a black man could go. I can't just get up and just move in Beverly Hills and say, yo, Eddie Murphy, I'm living right next door to you. How did you get here, man? I just walked there and said, this is me. You physically under control, right? Spiritually, you under control. You're calling on and you're worshiping something or someone that resembles the very people that did you harm. And you think the same people that did you harm will miraculously one day have a good sense of humor, and they're gonna say, you know what, I want to set you free. Don't let the Jingo movie fool you. He used Jingo to get what he want. He didn't just free Jingo and say, yo man, I'm just here to free the niggas. No. You can't be caught up into the matrix. But the matrix is the religion. The matrix is the book. The matrix is the ideologies. The matrix is their philosophy. Their matrix is a story that they can't prove. Shout out to Young Pharaoh, right? And I don't want to get off topic. We're not off topic. We still right here. Shout out to Young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh said this. He said that the Bible, no, excuse me, let me take that back. He said religion was created by individuals who aren't able to trace their genealogy to nothing. So they had to create a story, right? And when he said that, I said, yo, son, that is so profound. And the same story that they created, they had to force it upon you. And 400, and I don't want to say 400, they just say 1,000 years, because these niggas been in the land since the late 1400s, 1500s. So they've been here for 1,000+ years. And their presence here is what? Forcing an ideology. And if this was really the word of God, it would not need to be forced. It would not need to, nothing. You don't even have to touch it. As soon as you smelt it, you knew that this was the word. As soon as you smelt it. but it's not. It's a story that has to be repetitively said to your mind for you to pick up on it and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm a Muslim. I'm a Jew. I'm a Hebrew. And the more that you start reading, it starts supposedly unveiling new things. Oh my gosh, how come I didn't see that? You didn't see it because none of it is meant for you to see. You're forcing yourself to see that. You're forcing yourself to see that. And when you see that, you also force yourself to put you in a state or keep you in a state of comfortability where it's like, Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. You start singing these songs. You start singing these songs and you sit back and you just wait for somebody to come to redeem you. And I know I said all of that, but everything ties up to what I've been trying to have you guys to understand. That there will be no revolution. There will be no elevation. There will be no shift of power until we put these things back in order. And it starts with the man and the woman. Somebody asked me, say, yo, bro, so how do you fix this? What's the first thing? If you're saying that the man and the woman need to come together, what should we do? And the first thing I said is, you got to put a ring on that. You got to put a ring on her, or you got to put a ring on them. You got to put a ring on that. You got to you got to put the women that you have allowed to bring forth your children. You have to put them under one roof. So everybody can be as one. Everybody got access to their dad. Everybody got access to their mothers. You understand? Everybody got access to their brothers, their sisters. You're building a folk. You're building a community. But if you're following the ways of what these people have installed in our minds, we're going to continue going down it's going to be another generation of the same bullshit. And then the generation after that is going to be another one. And shout out, and shout out to all the youth them that's waking up, that's saying, nah, I'm good. I don't want to follow none of this religion. And I would rather you guys being there than you guys saying, well, I don't follow religion, but I believe in Jesus, right? I would rather you be there than just be a flat out atheist, because atheism is also a religion. I would rather you be there. You know why I would rather you be there? Because if you stay on that path of being there and you remove the toxicity, which is the drugs, the alcohol, the music, the movies, the school system, once you remove that, right, the ancestors will be able to talk to you. You'll see it in dreams. You'll be dazed and you're walking and you'll hear somebody talking to you. You thinking that you're talking to yourself, or people's gonna think you're crazy. Like for me, people with mental illness, these people are, and this is just my perspective, these people are just literally tapped into the other side, right? They tapped into the other side, and that's why a lot of times, these people that tap into the other sides or supposedly schizophrenia and got some type of mental illness, you notice that these people tap to the other side after they took some level of substance. Yes, substance is a gift and a curse, right? Just like wine, or excuse me, wine means spirit, right? Alcohol means what? Alcohol is was it an Egyptian word for body eater? It's an eater. It eats your body up. So, these people know what they're doing. So once you remove these things from you, you're going to be able to see things for what it is. Like, wait, hold on. Hold on. Somebody's talking to me. And those people with schizophrenia, those the other side, maybe be their ancestors, or maybe it be their long lost cousin. Somebody's talking to them and trying to get them to do right. But once you take these drugs shuts down your body. Mentally, you want to do something, but physically, it's shut down because you put an outside substance that was never meant to be injected in your body. So I say all that to say this, right? To fix the problems, to prevent, long distance premeditated murder, we got to fix the household. Man, put a ring on your woman. Put a ring on your woman's. Doesn't matter. She gave herself to you, that's yours. You keep it. You take care of that. That's how the game goes. Right? You take care of that. Once you take care of that, we're back to square one. And it's like, okay, now I got the blueprint. All right. So this is the foundation. Now I could put the layers down. The layers are the children. The layers are the moralities. The layers are the history. The layers is the respect. The layers is the accountability. The layers is the what they call that? The loyalty. The layers, that's what comes with the layers. Once you have that foundation, now all you got to do is just build up that home. All you got to do is build up the castle. That's why your Lord says the kingdom is within you. You don't understand what that means when the kingdom is within you. You are the king. Your kingdom is you. Your kingdom is anything that you touch, anything that you put your positive energy to, it becomes royalty. But you can't expect royalty from out there when you didn't fix the royalty in here. So that's my time, guys. This is another episode of What the Heck is Going On. I had the videos, just like I said, I started off late, really pissed me off. I will be having DaHeck every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on the dot. Pull up, show up, spread love. You know what I'm saying? I'm a promote it more where I can put it out on TikTok, put it out on IG, and you guys can tune in for free and listen to the conversation, man. Right? But that's neither here nor there. It's your brother, man, from the motherland. Like, comment, share, subscribe. It's your first time. Hope it's not your last time. If it's your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, that means I'm still on your mind. That means we still on that grind because it's about that time. You feel me? Are you dumb or are you dumb? And I'ma holler at y'all.